Alright, let's get this show on the road here. Should be able to I didn't plan actually on doing a live tonight. I just spur of the moment, live on the edge. Anyway, you know, I've been working on the set that I'm gonna donate here to let me adjust my camera a little bit here, forgive me, that I'm going to send to the Sir Dork, the Toys in Action Challenge, or Toys in Action convention, when that comes around. So I've been working on a few different components of it. One is this water heater that I modeled and printed. That's in the community section of my YouTube channel. If you want to see a nice image of that, you can check that out. I also am working on, at the same time, I've got a million things going at once, which is about normal. I've got another huge beast of a tank here that I've got the primer on, and then I've got the I mixed this color of paint for the airbrush, and I've got that base coat there airbrushed. And what I did today was, if you've ever seen big tanks, you know, like these, you know, huge ones, or you go inside, you know, in some industrial, you'll see these, what's called a welded access flange, and it'll usually have a sticker on there that'll say no entry, confined space, kind of you know, signage on here. So I modeled these in Fusion 360, and I rusted them out, and I'll be putting some of these on various parts of the walls to create the idea that there's you know, access flanges to maybe, you know, give some more depth to the set, and just give it that much more, a little bit of realism. I do have a door that's coming off the printer here in 11 minutes. So maybe we'll be taking that off while I'm on my live, and sharing that with you at the same time. Here I'm thinking what I really would like to do a little bit is just add some of this AK Terrain's rust corrosion on here, onto a few pieces of this, or a few parts of this, these flanges here. And this is a nice product. I really think it's a great product. I will say, you know, it will last a long time doing stuff like this. It will definitely last a long time, which is good because it is a little pricey, and I like it and I find it useful, but it is something too, I think, that as a toy photographer or a DIY kind of person, you know, who's DIY minded, it is something I think I could recreate on my own, and, you know, later in a you know, a batch similar to this size if I wanted, and save a little bit of money. But, you know, sometimes it's nice too, man, just to pop open a lid and use a product that's already made. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes that's the, you know, the way to go. But as it is today, in this case, I'm just popping the lid open and adding a little bit of this granulated paste on here that gives the idea that there's some rust corrosion texturing going on here, and it's a cool product for that. I like it. But you know, and this will help me kill a little time so that door will come off the printer, and I can take that off and get it cleaned up and see what it's looking like. I've got to get that rascal. I've got to get the foam cut for that. It's a 3x7" door, about 1/20 of an inch thick, and I'm going to use that to go right in the where's my water here, use that to I'm going to cut the opening for that tomorrow, well, probably tomorrow, because I've got to get it off the printer, and then I've got to wash it and cure it and get some paint going on that. So I probably won't cut that hole until tomorrow, but what a fun set this is to make. You know, I've always loved urbex and industrial and abandoned stuff, and this kind of gives me a chance to revisit some of those memories where I used to climb in through windows and go down under fences and everything else to get in these old abandoned bowling alleys and factories and things that I've been in. And now I don't do that so much anymore, but I love it just the same. And I've always loved industrial, and this is just going to be a fun little piece that's going to help me kind of, like I say, revisit some of my love for that type of setting, you know. All right, there we go. Thin that out just a little bit. There we go. All right, I think we're cool with that. Little rust in there. Can't ever have enough rust, man. There we go. And these little rascals here, I tell you, these were really quick to model and print. These here were, I made a, let me see what the measurements was. I want to say this is a 2" by 2" square. Yeah, 2x2 square, and then I did an extrude on this to about a 1/30 of an inch. And then I patterned these polygon bolts. Let's see if we can see this on here. You can see that there's the bolt going through the nut right there, and the 4 bolts and nuts around the corner of the flange itself. So that's pretty cool. Let me bring a little light up here so you can see this and appreciate it in all its detail. You know, having a 3D printer, man, is just, and being able to model some basic shapes and pieces is just so liberating. Is that the word? I don't know if that's the word or not, but it's fun, no doubt. And you can, you know, if I had to create this without a 3D printer, it would probably be something I might not create, or I would end up doing it out of cardboard and foam, and it would certainly take a little bit longer to do. But you know, I could still do it, but the level of realism that I can get with this is just really incredible. I really think this is going to add a nice bit of realism to the wall. I'm going to make a hole here because the door is about to come off of the printer, and we can see how that looks. I've got hope it's good, because we're going to see it at the same time. And so let's put some of this stuff away and get ready to get this door off the printer, and then it'll go into the wash station, and we'll wash and cure it, or wash and cure, yeah, wash and cure in that order. But we'll make a hole for it right now. And I did spend some time today making also this wall here. If you can see this, a nice wall with quite a bit of texture in here, and some water damage, you know, some leaky water coming down here. I'll probably have some pipes in up here, so there's a source for these leaks. But this was pretty neat. This is just pink foam also, and some different things I used to create some layers here. But these are really going to add some nice decoration for the wall. These little access ports here really, I think, are going to make a nice addition to this wall, to this whole set in general, or any industrial type set you're building. So let's get out some paper towels and get ready for this. Well, it's going to be a couple minutes. I got to wash it still. We've got 4 minutes left on it. I'm going to go put it right inside the IPA bath and let it wash for a few minutes, and then we'll see how that rascal looks together. Maybe and then I'm going to cut the hole for that tomorrow and get it going. I try to decide on most action figures people are probably going to photograph at this toy convention are, you know, a 1/12 or probably like a Marvel, like a 7-inch or some NECA. So I try to make it within, you know, 1/12 to, you know, like NECA, which is bigger than 1/12. Try to make it within those measurements. And if you didn't see this hot water heater that I made, let me share that with you. How cool is that, man? Oh, I love it, man. And that's a solid piece of resin. That is a paperweight, baby. That is heavy. And definitely a really cool thing to have there. Let me get this alcohol ready over here for my bath. Well, not my bath personally, but that would burn. But for the door, I'm really excited to see this door, man. Usually when I make a door, I'm going to tell you part of the thing about making doors, and I'll show you some here that I make out of foam. You know, for example, here's some doors here. These are made out of foam, and you know, I never make a door out of foam that has windows in it or anything like that, because you can just never cut it really that precise to make it look really square and nice. I can't anyway. So being able to model a door is exciting, because I can model a very precise door and put windows in it and everything. It's gonna be pretty cool. Let me just scoot a couple things around here and put a pair of gloves on. This you know, I get an allergy, man. When you're doing this resin and alcohol, definitely wear some gloves, I tell you, because when that alcohol touches my skin, I always get an allergic rash. The hives, and so I try not to. Sometimes I dunk my hand down in there and the alcohol gets above my wrist, and then I get a rash. But nobody needs to know that anyway. But let me grab a scraper here, and I'm going to, like I say, we'll bring this door over here. I'll get it in the alcohol, and then we'll bring it over in a few minutes and take a look at it. But once again, man, I'm really excited about these little flanges here. These are really cool. There's the printer. It's all stopped. We're going to take the lid off. Times like these, I wish I had a couple GoPro cameras, right, so I could switch between my views. You could, it'd be cool. You could follow me around, but I don't know if that'd be just overkill or not. But anyway, so the door printed successfully. It's not in the vat. You don't want your prints down in the vat, as a general rule. You kind of want them to stick to the build plate. Man, yeah, because that's no fun. If you ever 3D printed, and that is not fun when your print fails and it winds up down there in the vat. Oh wow, this is really cool. Okay, let me dump this in the alcohol bath and let that wash for a minute. I'm coming right back over there. This looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's going to be fun to paint this rascal and decorate it up for sure. Let me turn this off and plug this in, and we'll get the wash going. There we go. Wash that rascal up. And usually I'll let it go in here for about 6 or 8 minutes or so in a wash. Kind of just depends on what your preference is. But yeah, if you've ever done any 3D printing, and I remember some of the first prints, and still I'll get a failed print every so often because I'm not paying attention, but it's really a bummer because the 3D prints take a while anyway, and you know, 4 hours, 6 hours, only to find out that, you know, it failed, and you've got to clean your vat out, pour your resin through a filter, clean the failed print off of the FEP, and then make sure there's no holes in it, and then start all over again. It really sucks when it's a failed print. I mean, really, it's not that. It can be kind of discouraging, especially, you know, there's so much of this that is, you know, a learn as you go kind of thing. You can't ever know it all before you do any of it. You got to kind of fail to really see where and learn and grow. But here's the one big tank that I need to paint, and here's, in real life, these big tanks would have a smaller port on here, and that's what these are. So pretty cool. And I'll get this, like I said, I'll get this painted up. While that's I'll show you the floor I've got going for this while that's washing in the alcohol. Let me bring the floor up here and share that with you. So here is the floor, and here is a wall. I don't think you'll be able to see the wall, but let me just share the wall with you like this for a second. You can kind of see the drips and the different layers and recesses and things that I've incorporated into this. I've got another wall here we're going to add over here, and make a whole scene here for people to take their toy photography at this convention. Should be pretty cool. It's going to be a 1, 2, 3 panels is all it's going to be, and I'm going to model. I've got a lot of piping and things that I've modeled and printed also, but these big ports are going to look really, really nice. I wish you'd be able to see them from that angle, but they do look really good. And also times you'll see in industrial, banded industrial, where they've cut tanks out of the ground, and what's left on the ground are these square plates that go into the concrete that hold the beams, you know, the I-beams, the structured beams into those plates in the concrete, and they'll be cut out. Maybe there'll be a piece of beam left in there, and then there'll be rusty water collected around it or so. I'm going to probably make a couple of those little flanges that go into the ground that would hold those vertical beams, and that'll also add some really cool depth to the set. Just, you know, more things you have for the toys to interact with, the better. And you know, I've got quite a few pieces of wood that I made from foam for the set. I'll show you a couple of those if you hadn't seen them yet. This here, and I really should have made a bunch of random pieces of 2x4s and 2x6s and 2x8s a while ago, but I just I didn't. These are made, this is all made out of pink foam also, the scrap foam that I cut from builds and stuff. These, you know, they make excellent pieces to create 2x4s and old dunnage and things like that out of. And so I did go through and spent a few hours making scrap bits of plywood and things like that for this set also. So it's going to be pretty neat to see once it's all complete, and we'll have some figures they can hit each other and carry the wood and, you know, whatever they want to do with it. And it's funny to think that this is just made out of foam, you know. I mean, it just looks so cool. But it's amazing what you can set your mind to do in crafting. Let me pull this rascal out of the printer here, and we'll take a look at it together and see if I goofed anywhere, or if it looks like we're going to be able to paint that rascal up. And let me get a little spatula out here. All right. Let's bring this bad boy over here. So here's a door. Let's pop it off the build plate here. Looks pretty good too, man. Wow, I like that. Gosh. Let's pop this rascal off of here. No problem with adhesion. Definitely can see it's adhered to the build plate nicely. There we go. All right. Flip it around one time. There we go. Just don't want to bust it. There we go. Okay, that's off. Set this over here. Back in the alcohol. All right. Look at this door, man. Gosh, this is really cool. So before I remove it from the actual supports, I just want to share with you what it looks like. It's pretty cool. We've got the big hinges here. Then we've got a sliding rod right here with a flange that goes over it and a little cutaway. It's recessed to look through there. So it's pretty cool. It's looking pretty nice. I think we'll get my clippers out here and get to removing this from the supports. This is the not that exciting part, but necessary. Wish there was a way to use these supports for something. That'd be really cool. You know, I'd definitely be wouldn't feel like you wasted them. Let's see here. I'm kind of cheat here, since you're not going to see the back of this print really. Not so worried about the back of it because it's going to be sanded and it's going to be painted anyway on the back, and I'm not really going to be seeing the back a whole lot. So before I actually, I mean, I got to clean it up a little bit better before I cure it, but this gives you an idea anyway. Like I say, you've got the hinges, and you've got a figure like Popeye, who definitely fits in there, and then you've got another figure like if you did a Jason or even a 7-inch figure, you know, he's gonna still fit. The door 7 inches tall, so he would still fit in there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. We're gonna get this thing cleaned up and get the painting on it too, man. Anyway, all right, guys, gals, I'm gonna get on out of here, and you enjoy your night.